Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. Geeky Sparkle's sitting this one out. We're going to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows getting pushed back again. This news just broke, not even an hour ago. Deserto has it, the official notice from Ubisoft. And this is the, second time the game has been delayed. And I'm thinking things aren't going too well. They're saying it's to make sure the game is as good as possible. I'm like, a month is not going to fix it. Even when they delayed it from November, I think it was November it was supposed to come out, to February. I'm like, 3 months is not going to make a difference on a game like this, right? 3 years maybe. 3 years might make a difference, but let's talk about this because I think they're playing let's kick the can down the road. Right, I think they're kicking the can. This is just my personal feeling on it. I think they know the game is not good. I think they know the game is not going to sell the way they're hoping it's going to sell. I think they know they're in trouble, and if they release this game too early, I think they're trying to wait and see what's going on with the rumors of the sale or the takeover or whatever the hell is going on with Ubisoft. But yeah, I think the sharks are waiting for a meal. And if this game fails, I think that's it. Basically, Ubisoft is going to have to probably sell itself to Tencent or something. And I'm going to be honest, say what you will about the Chinese, say what you will about the CCP. When it comes to gaming, they know what players want. So I'm just saying, like, if you would put Assassin's Creed in the hands of the Chinese, you probably would get a pretty decent game, or any of the Ubisoft IP. I mean, look at what's going on with Black Myth. Look at what's going on with Marvel Rivals. I'm just saying, I think they would probably make sure the game would not be what it is now, which is a DEI disaster. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go out to clownfishtv.com for more objective pop culture news. Also, clownfishminus.com. Join the reef. Help support the channel. We've got, I think I got a couple podcasts coming today, so check that out. Yeah, this is coming from Deserto, and they got it from Ubisoft, obviously. Here is the official statement. Dear players, we want to extend our heartfelt thanks to our incredible fans and dedicated team for your unwavering support since our announcement in September. Okay, it was September, to further refine and polish Assassin's Creed Shadows. Since November, we've been thrilled to share our progress through gameplay overviews, and the overwhelming excitement has truly inspired us. Is that what we're calling it now? Overwhelming excitement? Maybe it's overwhelming excitement for the game to drop so all the YouTubers can pounce on it. But I think if they had overwhelming pre-orders, they probably would be more inclined to release the game. I think the sales are not good. The pre-orders are not good. And they're like, yeah, okay, maybe we better push this one down the road a little bit further. Each week has brought valuable feedback from our community. While we've already made remarkable strides, we believe a few additional weeks are needed to implement that feedback and ensure an even more ambitious and engaging day one experience. March 20th, would that put it into the new fiscal quarter for them? I don't know. This feels like, I'm sorry, there's not a lot that can be done to this game, especially if you're releasing physical copies, right? Or is this just digital, comes out March 20th? So I'm thinking they're just kicking the can down the road. I said before, and they announced February, I'm like, they're going to delay it again. And I'm waiting for February to roll around, and then they're going to delay it again. Just table the game. Send it back to the kitchen until you get it right. In 3 years, when you rebuild the entire effing game. Anyway, accordingly, the new release day is March 20th. We remain committed to delivering a high-quality, immersive experience fostered by ongoing dialogue between our players and development teams. Don't take a steaming shit on Japanese culture. That might be one of the pieces of feedback. You know, the Japanese are done with this game. They don't want anything to do with it. We know you're eager to learn more about Assassin's Creed Shadows, and we're excited to share Share that more updates will be coming your way very soon. So this is like, so now we're talking, it's only 2.5 months out, and people haven't really seen a lot of this game. And you still think it's going to ship in March? I don't think it's going to ship in March. I could be wrong. I didn't think it was going to ship in February. I didn't think it was going to ship in November. I'm like, this is, they're pulling out of the, was it Tokyo Game Show they pulled out of? They're hiding this game. I feel like this is like a Concord situation, right? Where the rumor was that the game was done pretty much, and then Sony took a look at it and they're like, oh yeah, this is shit. We have to redo it. So they brought people in to help redo it because their DEI team couldn't do it. And the version of Concord that we got that still got pulled in less than 2 weeks was the better version. Can you imagine what version 1.0 would have been like? I have a feeling that this is kind of what's going on. I mean, this is just a hunch, but I have a feeling this is kind of what's going on with Assassin's Creed. They're like, ah, shit, we pretty much have to rebuild what we can rebuild. I think it's polishing a turd at this point. I think they know the sales are not good. I think they're playing kick the can down the road so the investors don't take a look at this and be like, oh, okay, so now you're like 2 for 2, right? Because Star Wars Outlaws was a massive flop, and this one's a massive flop. And, just to remind you, they literally cannot afford for Assassin's Creed Shadows to fail. And I think they're looking at the numbers and it's failing. 2024, they had Skull and Bones. Yeah, I forgot about that game. Was that 2024? I forgot about that game. Star Wars Outlaws, that was a huge failure. X Defiant was canceled. They're laying people off. Their stock is in the shitter. And Jason Schreier from Bloomberg said that everything hinges on Assassin's Creed Shadows. He said if it's a hit, Ubisoft will have more time and leverage as the founding family sorts out the company's future, which I think at this point, it's pretty much a guaranteed thing that they're going to have to sell or merge or something. If it flops, we might see a drastic reorganization that might happen very quickly, be it a buyout or a sale. Tencent already owns a stake. They've been linked to buyout talks, but we could also see an unexpected suitor swoop in, maybe the Saudis, Savvy Games Group. So it's like there's a lot. There are a lot of issues with this game. People look at the gameplay and they're like, it's not good, and that's beyond the cultural insensitivity. But like they spend so much time on DEI, like you think you would have at least got the cultural sensitivity right. Right? By cultural sensitivity, we mean their culture, not California's culture, not Portland's culture, but Japan's culture. And, so apparently the cultural sensitivity experts look at everything through a very American lens, a very left-wing American lens, which is very myopic and frankly racist. Isn't that the opposite of what you're supposed to do? So I don't know, guys. We'll see what happens. Let's look at some of these comments here, though. Before we wrap it up, this is coming from Deserto. Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, just play that again. Game developers are getting lazier every year. I don't think it's about them being lazy. I think a lot of them are unskilled. Didn't they say, I'm trying to remember, there's so much news about this game. They said that a lot of the people working on this game, they were new game developers, or that like they'd never worked on a game before. It was like, if that's what it takes to perfect the game, so be it. Yeah, pretty much. Pick your fighter, Cyberpunk versus Assassin's Creed Shadows. This game is either cooked or goated, no in between. I think it's cooked. This game is moving slower than a snail with arthritis. This is an automated post. At this rate, the assassin's going to need a retirement plan. Ubisoft trying to delay the final nail going into their coffin. That's exactly what I think is going on. That's my personal opinion. Just look at this from a business perspective. They are kicking that can down the road because they know if this game flops, it is game over for them. Right? They're going to have Tencent be like, yeah, that's it. You're done. You're done. You're like 2 for 2 or 3 for 3 at this point. You are done. There's no saving this company. These were the 2 games that you bet everything on, and you done screwed up. Yeah, Rex here says, I 100% guarantee they're scrambling to correct as much historical incorrectness as possible to mitigate the wokeness and realizing it's creating game-breaking issues. Yeah, you can't exactly like pull the main character out of the game at this point, can you? They could delay this game 5 years. Yeah, it'd still just be like any other Assassin's Creed game. If you played one, you played them all. Same game, different atmosphere. Ghost of Tsushima creators seeing this. Recent updates indicate Assassin's Creed Shadows has indeed been delayed again, with a new release date set for March 20th. Is that like autopilot? That feels like AI or something. This better be the best Assassin's Creed Shadows or Assassin's Creed game ever at this point. I don't think it's going to be. They should just cancel it again. As someone who was a major Assassin's Creed fan for a long time and played more Valhalla than I should have, I think I actually have zero interest in playing this, especially with the condition current Ubisoft is in. That's it. So what happens a lot of times when games or movies or whatever it is gets delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and then it finally comes out, people are like, I thought that came out like 5 years ago, right? People are like, oh, hey, whatever, Cyberpunk came out today. Jeez, I thought that game came out like 5 years ago because all I've heard is people talking about it. And by the time it comes out, it's old news, right? So this is kind of, I can see the logic in Nintendo because, this is a side tangent, but supposedly the Switch 2 has been leaked. And supposedly the rumor is that Nintendo's going to like drop this thing on everybody in April. That the Switch 2 is actually going to come out in a couple of months, right? And I can see the logic in that because if everybody's so damn tired of talking about it, it's old news. If Nintendo does this all the time, they're like, hey, Metroid Prime Remaster's out. Like right now. Like go buy it right now. I can see the logic in that. And Apple does this too. They're like they announce a new device like a week or two, before you can buy it or do pre-orders because it's old. People forget. They forget very easily, especially when you're inundated with so much information every day. And so many people have been talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows mostly negatively that by the time it comes out, people will be like, oh, it finally came out? Yeah, who cares? Moving on. Stepping over it. So I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.